Hello everyone and welcome to the latest edition of Wolves Weekly. I'm Michael Collins, joined today by Western Oregon track and field head coach Mike Johnson. And Coach, we're entering the championship portion of the schedule for indoor track and field. Your team has had some strong performances today. Talk a little about the Wolves so far this season.
It's kind of like it goes by very quickly in indoors. We started about the 12th of January. Here we are in the middle of February. We're only 3 days away from the championships over in Nampa, Idaho. Good track, good activity. Our year so far has been mostly at the University of Washington at the Dempsey Center. Great meets against good people and good competition, and we've had some outstanding performances. Some people with provisional marks for the NCAA meet, and a number of others that are close, and I think ready to grab a spot.
Nice, and you're entering the indoor championships. The men's team has won 5 straight indoor titles. It's a little different this year with the addition of Alaska Anchorage. It's going to be a little bit harder on the squad, and the women's team has some strong entries as well. Talk a little bit about how you see this championship meet playing out.
Well, this is the first time that Anchorage has come in, and they will affect the scoring. And where we've normally won the meet in around 145 to 165 points, I think this year's meet's going to be won at 115 or 120 points, because there's going to be a division between probably 5 teams on the women's side and 3 or 4 teams on the men's side. So there's not the ability to dominate by being able to score very well in 2 or 3 events, although Anchorage is not very diverse in terms of their event coverage, but they're very deep in 3 or 4 events.
And for the Wolves, in the opening seedings on the men's side, there's a lot of high rankings and a lot of events, so the coverage for the Wolves is kind of a broad meet, and you've had some standout performances, especially from Matson Hardy and some of the middle distance runners this year. Kind of talk about what do you expect from them?
Well, I think Matson's excelled in the long jump, the high jump, the triple jump. He'll be a very busy guy this weekend. And, of course, he has provisional marks there. He's on the top 10 list, in the top 5, I think, in all 3 events within the institution. The middle distance people, particularly Chris Olson, Ryan Hansen, a couple of the other freshman guys, are running very, very well. Josh Hanna has stepped up very nicely, and then a couple of the freshman sprinters have done nicely as well. And so we have some freshmen, some returning talent, and I think you mentioned it's spread about. We have people in, I think, most of the events are covered.
And on the women's side, last year I believe you guys finished in 3rd place, and Madison McClung returns to compete and hopefully defend her championships.
Sure.
And a freshman for you guys has really excelled in the jumps, Alexis Anderson.
Well, Alexis has just been great. She's done, wonderful work. She's comes from a smaller school on the coast and has been able to come in and improve in all of her jump areas, and has a national provisional in the triple jump. Is, I think, leading the conference, in that event. Madison comes back in the 1 and the 2, and was out of training for almost 10 weeks. And we thought, well, what can she do? And all of a sudden she steps up, and in the second meet, she comes back, runs near her personal best. She's got a little room to grow still in the 200, and she just brings such good leadership and intensity to the group. So.
And you mentioned briefly the NCAA provisional marks, and after this meet, there's a last chance meet and a chance to get into that NCAA championship. What are kind of your hopes for the NCAA national meet?
Well, I think some of the people we've just spoken about, certainly the men's distance medley, if you take those middle distance runners and spread them into a relay, that works. That works pretty well. We throw a couple of guys we mentioned together with Drew Larson and Harrison Leap, and all of a sudden that's a very good distance medley team who I think is very hungry to get another shot. I mean, they have a provisional mark. I think they'll need to improve it. Alexis is kind of in that same position. Matson, I think, individually, and maybe Chris Olson in the 800 and Ryan in the 800, have the best individual opportunities to join the meet. And that'll be down on a very good track at the Sports Festival in Birmingham, Alabama.
All right, well, thanks a lot. And you guys can follow the Wolves all week long on GNACsports.com, where they'll have live coverage, and WOUWolves.com for the results. And thank you, Coach, and thank you for watching Wolves Weekly.
Thanks, Mike. There you go. That was a quick wrap. I love it.